Hi, I'm Matthew Royer. And I'm Benjamin Royer. And we're from Twinger Talk. Today we're at the ESPYS in downtown Los Angeles. In partnership with Fanlala TV. Let's get the party started. As an NFL cornerback, what is it like having to adjust to the different offensive schemes of wide receivers?
It's not difficult. It's mostly preparation throughout the week, just studying the scheme, like you said, the tendencies that coaches like to run. Every year it's a new team, but if you have the same coaches, you just watch your schemes, what they do on certain down and distances and position in the field. So it starts off Monday, but once you get around Thursday, Friday, it becomes easier.
Out of all the athletes here today, who are you most looking forward to meet?
Probably Aaron Rodgers, just because he seems like the coolest kid on the block.
Thank you.
I'll take it. Y'all look smooth.
Thank you. So with DeMar DeRozan being traded today to the San Antonio Spurs, do you think there's a loyalty problem in the NBA with teams to their players?
I don't think it's a problem. I think it's business, and obviously it's tough, and you're with the organization for a long time. It definitely hurts. It's definitely a bitter moment, but I think that fuels a lot of guys. You look at IT, look at DeMarcus, even DeMar is going to fuel him, and they're going to do a lot of special things this year. So,
women's football right now, there's an issue with the wage gap. How do you think that should be fixed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, male and female athletes in general, there's a huge gap in wages. I think, especially take soccer for instance, it's improved over the years. I hope that the gap will narrow, but we're making good strides.
So Seattle's doing pretty good in this NWSL season so far. What is your mindset going into the playoffs?
It's tough. I think we're in a bit of a tough stretch coming up now. There's about 6 teams fighting for 4 spots. So I think every game that we play now really counts. So, we really hope that we're going to finish second to host a home semi-final, but the competition's so hard. I think making the top 4 is obviously the goal, and as long as we do that, I think we're in a good position.
Out of all the athletes here today, who are you most excited to meet?
Oh, there's a lot of great athletes I want to meet. I think Tom Brady would be awesome if he was here. Serena Williams I would love to meet. Obviously as a female athlete and empowering women to pursue being a professional athlete, I think it's someone I've always admired and looked up to. Who else? I think I just bumped into Russell Wilson, which is cool. I think there's a lot that I can't think of right now, but I think it's just amazing to be here amongst some amazing athletes, and I feel fortunate to be here.
So what was it like winning the national championship and now being in the NBA?
Surreal. The last couple months for me has been a whirlwind. I haven't really had the time to think about it.
Obviously, you are one of the best running backs in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest running back to come through the ranks in the future?
I think Saquon. I think Saquon going to be pretty good. Also, being that he's in New York, he's going to get all the attention that he needs.
How were you able to continue playing so well for such a long period of time?
God, and you just got to work hard. The harder you work, the longer you'll be able to play.
Thank you. If you have to drop anywhere but Tilted, where do you drop?
Oh, Lucky Landing. I'm a big Lucky Landing fan, man. It's underrated.
Okay, and then there's one thing that people underutilize in Fortnite. What would it be?
Other they underutilize? I think that people underutilize the grenade launcher in the right way. The best way to do it is shoot it at max distance so it blows up exactly where you want it to and not have to rely on physics and bouncing around and landing. It gets pretty crazy sometimes. So
let's just do one very quick question.
Gotcha.
What is the hardest part about being a WWE superstar?
That's easy. The travel and being away from your family. Like most sports and all these athletes you're going to see, they have an off season. We don't have an off season. We are 52 weeks a year. We're constantly running domestically, and if we're not domestic, we're running globally. So we're always on the road. We're always traveling. We're always in cars. We're always in planes. So it can be a bit rough, but it's an acquired taste.
This last season, you guys won the national championship, all because of you. How was it to win a national championship and not UConn?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was all because of me, but as a team, it was just an amazing feeling to beat UConn, number 1 team in the country, great team, but to win the national championship on its own was just amazing.
What is it like having to strategize for each and every team that you ended up facing in the regular season?
I mean, it's just our coaches. Thanks to our coaches, they watch film, they study it, and they get us prepared for every game.
Out of all the athletes here today, who are you most excited to meet?
Well, I already met her, but Sierra, I mean, she's just a great human. So, I was really excited to take a picture with her.
Thank you. So what is it like becoming the Gatorade Athlete of the Year?
It's an amazing honor because the Gatorade Award not only shows your greatness on the field, it also shows what you do in the classroom, what you're doing for your community. It is great to know that I'm one of the premier athletes in my sport on all 3 aspects of being a student athlete.
How do you prepare for the events that you compete in?
I just like to clear my mind and I just like to listen to music a lot. That helps me clear my mind, and I just make sure I try to zone everything out and just have it between me and the line.
What type of music do you listen to before the game?
I listen to rap. Yeah.
Out of all the athletes here today at the ESPYS, who are you looking forward to meet the most?
I want to meet LeBron James, like pretty much almost every other kid here. It's just he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, one of the greatest athletes of all time, and it's just amazing seeing what he came from to where he is now.
Coming off of your first Pro Bowl season, what do you think you need to improve on next season?
I could definitely improve on everything. I mean, that's just how I approach the game. You're never perfect. There's always something to get better at. And even something that you've done really well, your opponents are scouting you. So you have to get even better at that and then come up with countermeasures so you can throw them off guard. So I just say my overall game.
How do you strategize for facing a different offensive line every single game?
I dedicate a week to each guy throughout the offseason. Every week, I'm dedicated to one dude. And I'm talking like, I want to know what this guy eats for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what his favorite cartoon show is. Like, I want to know everything about him. So when I get on the field, first of all, I could talk trash to him, mess with him. But secondly, I want to know how he plays the game, man. How did he play when he was in college? How did he play 2 years ago? If he's an older guy, how did he play when he was younger? What is he overcompensating for now? You know what I mean? So that way I can help with how I attack him.
Out of all the athletes here today, who are you most looking forward to meet?
I hope I see LeBron. I don't even need to meet him, I just want to see him.
So what was it like being nominated for Best Driver at the ESPYs?
It's an honor just to be nominated, and it really looks back on our season last year. We won a championship. I was the first female to do that in 35 years. So it's huge, and tonight I'm just celebrating everything we accomplished last year.
What's it like preparing for a race?
For me, it's staying active, staying in the gym, working out, eating right. I perform my best when I feel great. So I'm a yoga fan. I'm in the yoga studio all the time working out, and on the road it's tough. You have to make up your own workouts in hotel rooms and hotel gyms, but we make it work.
How is it trying to step out of your father's footsteps? Like, you're starting to be one of the best drivers in the world, and it seems like you could even be better than your dad.
That's definitely a push. He's done so much for the sport, so many championships. It's just incredible. But to have his support, have his guidance, I'm lucky to have him there, all the way with me. Really, he's taught me everything in the world of motorsports. NHRA drag racing, taught me how to drive, and I owe it all to him.
Which athlete that you haven't met, who are you excited to meet here today?
I would be very excited to meet Danica Patrick and LeBron James.
How you guys enjoying the red carpet?
It's a great experience, with all these different athletes you get to meet, including you guys.
How do you feel about it?
It's really hot here, but it's awesome being able to meet everyone.
That is true. It is pretty hot. We don't have some people got umbrellas out here. We're not fortunate enough to have umbrellas, but it's fine. We get used to the heat.
I wish somebody could hold an umbrella over me. That would be cool, fan me down. But it's cool,
Yeah.
You gotta accept what you get, It's cool.
So what are y'all looking forward to today at the ESPYS?
Oh, I'm just excited to see everyone, maybe even LeBron, because LeBron's the greatest.
You gonna have the same answer?
No, I'm excited to actually see some of my favorite baseball players, but there are none of them here right now, so I'm kind of getting worried.
Still early.
It's early. They may come, yeah.
A little bit early, maybe.
Yeah. It can happen. It can happen.
Last question, but a good one. How do it feel to be twins? I always want to know how to feel to have a twin.
Well, it's awesome to be a twin because you're with him every single second of the day, but that's also a blessing and a curse because you're with them every single second of the day. The best part about being a twin is always, have somebody to lean back on, somebody who gets you and who's also your best friend. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Can you agree on that?
I wish I had a twin.
You agree on that?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds perfect. I mean, if I had a twin,
If only.
I would say the same thing.
Maybe one day.
Blessings.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, man.
So, David, what was it like winning a gold medal in the 2018 Olympics?
What was it like? It's one of those things that's hard to describe because there's so much intensity that comes to competing in the Olympics, and you have to stay as focused as you possibly can. Your whole goal as an athlete is to not get caught up in what might happen or what has happened last run, but what's happening right now and execute. And then all of a sudden it's over and they're like, here, you won. Here's this thing. And you're like, oh, wow. It's like a state of disbelief. So I still have these two different places in my brain where it's like there was the intensity that gets there and then there's all this craziness afterwards. Being here at the ESPYS to me is kind of an unreal thing. You know, I almost don't believe that this is reality.
What was it like being nominated for that ESPY?
It's a huge honor. This is only my second time in my entire career being nominated for an ESPY, so I'm excited to be here for sure.
Out of all the athletes here today, who are you most excited to meet?
Ooh, most excited to meet. That's a great question. My friend Mike Schultz, who's an adaptive athlete and one of the guys who I just like hanging out with him more than anybody else. I'm most excited that he got nominated as well because he and I have traveled the world and he's helped my sister, who's an above-knee amputee, get back to skiing and stuff like that. So when I saw the nominations list and saw that he got nominated as well, I was really excited.
Being a defensive player in the NFL, how do you adjust to different offensive schemes and strategies?
Well, we typically go over all the strategies and schemes in meetings. So we first watch film and then we get out there and practice it against the scout team whenever I was playing. So we get plenty of reps in at all the things that we see on film that the team has done in the past. And also we pay attention to the coordinators usually and things that they've done with other teams that they may pull up in a game against your scheme and against your team.
Facing different running backs every single game, what was your favorite running back that you ever faced and was able to play against?
Man, there are a lot of really good running backs. I would probably say one of my favorite players to go against would be Chris Johnson, who later became my teammate. I think his speed was something that kept everybody on edge. And another great running back that I remember playing against and then playing with would be Jamal Lewis. So I really enjoyed playing with him and against him when he was with the Ravens.
Out of all the different athletes here today that you haven't met, who are you most excited to meet?
I always enjoy seeing Layla Ali. Yeah, so I really admire what she had done in women's sports and boxing. Of course, obviously her father being Muhammad Ali. I always have a tremendous amount of respect for his accomplishments, and then to see his daughter go on and do so well in her sport, I think it's pretty cool to see her.
With this season, the Clippers had to do a whole rehaul of their roster. Do you think the new guards, well, the whole team's basically guards, do you think the team will work towards the playoffs this season?
Yeah, you know what? I actually like the roster. I think that they will fight for like that last playoff seed like they did this year. I mean, I think if they were healthy this year, they would have made the playoffs. But that's pretty much it. I mean, you're kind of fighting for that 7th or 8th seed at this point. I like Doc as a head coach. I don't like him as a GM. But I do think he'll get the most of this group. If they stay healthy, they'll be fighting for that last playoff seed.
The Lakers seem to be starting to build around LeBron with getting veterans in free agency and also having the young core still on the team.
Yeah.
How do you think that will work towards the regular season?
You know what? So I think what they're going to try to do is just be as competitive as they can this year. It's not a championship team, but I do think it's a team that's going to vie for a top 4 seed, best case scenario. Maybe get to the second round, but when you look at how they're currently constructed, they're not a team that's going to beat the Warriors, not going to beat the Rockets, but they're a very good team. But I like the vets, and if they kind of take on this role of like helping the young players out, I think that'll be a great thing long term for this team.
Okay, now some 3 quick fire questions, okay? Best futures: Clippers, Lakers.
Lakers.
UCLA basketball, USC basketball.
UCLA basketball.
And Chargers, Rams.
Rams.
Okay, thank you, Raj.
Pleasure, guys. Take care. Yeah.
I'm Matthew Royer. I'm Benjamin Royer. And this has been Twinger Talk.